Who was the inspiration for you in learning, in running business, and in getting the maturity that you have? There has to be someone that's inspired you or inspiring you.
Obviously, the first thing that comes to my mind is always the family, always the people around me. I've grown up in like a hustle culture, growing up, and it's turned out for better or worse reasons. But I'm grateful that I've done it, and I'm grateful that I've had it, and the people that I've been around growing up have always been working. And the fact that most of the time it's done with quite little complaints, and that's quite admirable at times. And I look up to my parents. I think both my mum and my dad offer a very different sort of inspiration between the two of them. One's more dreamy, one's more reality based. And I won't say who's who, but essentially, they offer different types of support nets that I go to when I need sort of something answered. My partner is a massive inspiration to me. Of course, she's always inspired me to be better, be a better person, be a better leader, be a just general be a human, to have empathy, to listen to people and to hear people. And then within the industry itself, I think someone like potentially Louis from OnZM, he's someone that I look up to in a professional sense, because he's someone who has very loosely what I want, which is a great restaurant with great produce, with great food, and he's having fun. And he's just doing it because he loves it, and he's doing it because despite it being difficult and tough, and him at an age where it seems unconventional to start a restaurant, he's just doing it, despite that. And that's pretty cool. And he's a great person because he's someone who I look up to. And every time he comes into the restaurant late at night after he finishes his shifts, we have great conversations. We have great sort of back and forth reflections on how services went. We talk a lot about managing people's expectations, which in other words is complaining about the customers that we had that night. But it's semi-true. And yeah, there's so many great people in the industry. You got AK, who does AK's Diner, ex head chef at XO. Someone like Alex from Fox and Bow, of course. He's someone who just lights up the room every time you come in it. And there's no shortage of people around you that can inspire you. It's just you sort of want to pick and choose different parts of people, and you want to sort of lean into it. And like I said before, you need people around you to help you, and you can't necessarily do everything alone. But you also want to be a better you as well. So there's definitely a whole range of people. Bigger and better sense in terms of even like a podcast sense. Someone like Stephen Bartlett as well, Diary of a CEO, someone who I really look up to, partly because I'm a sucker for like a British accent. But he has just a really great way of just conveying, his thoughts and proposing questions and having a back and forth conversation. Obviously, he's been doing it for a couple hundred episodes now, but that's someone who my partner got me onto originally. He had a really great episode talking about the meaning of happiness and all that type of stuff. And I have yet to find another podcast that gives me that sort of same satisfaction, that I can just listen to it and just fully get and put myself in. And, I feel like at times, like I wouldn't say necessarily like in my head, but like, he's really asking the questions that I'd ask, or he's coming at it in a way that I would come at it. And it's also had just a massive impact on just the way that I talk, the way that I carry myself, the way that I speak, the way that I convey my messages and all this type of stuff. He's someone that I definitely, seek to when I need a little bit of comfort maybe. And without listening to, funnily enough, podcasts on like, a regular basis, let's say maybe I listen to one or two a week, I feel like it's just really added value and giving me an advantage of how I can speak as well. Like listening to other people talk, listening to professionals, quote unquote, and all these people that are in the industry in different little pockets of the world, and listening to how they convey their messaging has just, whether or not I'm really even listening to it, even at the gym, like it's just there. And that just does something. It's just like really good, because I think, growing up and all that type of stuff, I never thought I was like a really big academic. I didn't enjoy school a lot. And I didn't do the uni route. And being able to just listen to people speak about things has been probably something I was missing out most of without doing that route, right? Like I didn't miss anything specific. I just missed out on professionals in the industry, in their field, talking about things. And I got that through podcasts personally. I got to sort of pick and choose what I believe though. But, that's that. And that's great. That's great. Selective, decisive decision making and all that type of stuff. That's a skill within itself. But they would be the people who I sort of hold at a high regard for sure.